While other grandmothers spent their evenings watching TV or knitting, 76-year-old Rose spent her nights sneaking into the local elementary school. While others complained about kids not reading anymore, she was secretly creating a magical library experience that would turn reluctant readers into book lovers. And while her granddaughter Emma slept peacefully at home, she had no idea that her grandmother was out there changing the world, one carefully chosen book recommendation at a time. But the true magic of this midnight library mission hadn't even been revealed yet. On that cold Tuesday evening in November, 7-year-old Emma Chun was trying to do her homework at home when she realized something terrible. Her backpack was left at school. "Mom, my backpack is at school," Emma shouted in panic. Mom Linda came out of the kitchen. "How did you forget your backpack?" "I don't know, but my math book and homework are in the bag." Dad David had just returned from work. "The school is closed at this hour, Emma. We'll go early tomorrow morning and get it. But my homework is due tomorrow. Please, Daddy." Emma looked so sad that David couldn't resist. "Okay, but we'll just get your backpack and come right back." In the car on the way to school, Emma was watching outside through the window. As they passed Roosevelt Elementary School, she saw something very strange. "Dad, stop. What happened, Emma?" "There's light at school. There's light in the library." David stopped and looked. There really was a faint light coming from the library windows. "Maybe there's a janitor," said David. "But at this hour?" "At 11 p.m. David was curious too. "Come on, let's see what's happening." As they approached the school, Emma's heart started beating fast. Light was really coming from the library, and it seemed like someone was moving inside. "Dad, what if there's a burglar or something?" "Don't worry, we'll just look from a distance." When they approached the library window, what they saw surprised them. There was an elderly woman inside. She was carefully organizing books, walking from shelf to shelf, and leaving small notes on tables. "This is very strange," said David. "Who is this woman?" Emma had her eyes glued to the window, watching the woman. The woman approached a table and very carefully placed a book on it. Then she left a small note next to the book. "Dad, that woman looks very familiar." When Emma looked more carefully, she couldn't believe it. "Dad, that's Grandma Rose." "What? This is impossible." But Emma was right. The person working in the library at midnight was Emma's 76-year-old grandmother Rose. "What is Grandma doing here?" Emma murmured. David was also in shock. "I don't know, but we need to find out." Emma and David carefully approached the library so Rose wouldn't see them. The main door was locked, but how had Rose gotten inside? "Emma, you wait here. I'll check around," said David. "No, Dad. I'm coming too." At the back of the school, a small window was ajar. David and Emma quietly slipped inside. Watching Rose in the library was mesmerizing. She wasn't working randomly at all. She had a list in her hand and was working very systematically. Emma saw Rose put a small paper labeled Sarah Johnson, 2nd grade, on a table. The paper said, "You'll love princess stories," and there was a beautiful, illustrated princess book on the table. She left another note labeled Tommy Martinez, 3rd grade, on another table with a dinosaur book next to it. "What does this mean?" Emma whispered. David was also amazed. Rose was preparing personal book recommendations for each child. Rose was so concentrated that she didn't notice them. She seemed to have been working for hours. Emma couldn't contain her curiosity anymore. She decided to approach Rose. "Grandma," she said quietly. When Rose turned around and saw Emma, she was very surprised. "Emma, what are you doing here?" "I should be asking that. What are you doing here?" Rose hesitated. Then she smiled. "Sit down, sweetheart. Let me explain." Emma and David sat next to Rose. This is my little project," said Rose. "I've been doing it for 15 years. "What project?" "I prepare book recommendations for the students of this school. I learn each child's taste, what they like. Then I choose special books for them." Emma looked around. The library wasn't at all like she knew it. Every corner was carefully arranged. Comfortable reading corners were created. Books were displayed beautifully. "But how do you get inside?" Rose smiled. "Principal Mr. Wilson gave me special permission, but he wanted to keep it secret, because people might misunderstand." "What could they misunderstand?" "This is wonderful. Some people might see this as not following official procedures." But Mr. Wilson and I think children's love of reading is more important. The next day, when Emma came to school, she ran to the library. There really were special book recommendations for different children on every table. Sarah Johnson had found the princess book on her table and was very happy. "This book is exactly the type I like," she was shouting. Tommy Martinez's eyes lit up when he saw the dinosaur book. "Wow, a book about my favorite subject." Emma understood how well her grandmother knew each child. How could she learn about them in such detail? During recess, she asked her teacher, Miss Garcia, "Miss Garcia, who makes those book recommendations?" Miss Garcia smiled. "Don't you know? There's someone very special. But I can't tell you who. They want to stay secret. But it's so beautiful." Everyone started reading books. Yes, since these recommendations started, the reading rate in our class increased by 300%. Emma felt proud. Her grandmother was a real hero. That evening, Emma visited Rose. Now that she knew her secret, her grandmother could explain everything to her. "Grandma, how do you know the children so well?" "Observation, sweetheart. I've been watching this school for 15 years. Which child likes which subjects, who they're friends with, what kind of games they play. I note everything." Rose showed Emma a thick notebook. Inside was every student's profile. Sarah Johnson likes princesses, prefers pink color, very imaginative. Tommy Martinez likes dinosaurs, seeks adventure, very active. Marcus Brown looks sad, has trouble making friends, needs funny books. "This is incredible," said Emma. "You're like a real detective. Every child is special, Emma. And there's a right book for every child. You just need to find it." "Grandma, can I help you too?" Rose thought. "How would you help? I can observe students at school too. I'll talk to them, learn what they like." Rose's face lit up. "That's a wonderful idea. You're much closer to them than I am." So Emma got the task of gathering information for her grandmother's secret project. In the following days, Emma started talking more with her classmates. "Katie, what kind of movies do you like? Lily, what's your favorite color? Ben, do you have pets?" Emma reported the information she gathered to Rose. "Katie likes horror movies, but doesn't want them too scary. Maybe light thriller books. Lily loves purple color and cats. Can we find purple books with cats?" Rose was noting the information Emma gave her. "You're a wonderful researcher, Emma." As weeks passed, Rose and Emma's collaboration deepened. Now they were doing projects not just for book recommendations, but to make the library even more beautiful. "Emma, we can make that corner more comfortable. We can put low cushions for small children." "Great idea. And maybe higher tables for bigger children." While Rose worked at midnight, Emma applied her suggestions during the day. Of course, they were being very careful. Emma told Miss Garcia, "Miss Garcia, wouldn't it be nice if there were cushions for small children in the library?" "What a nice idea, Emma. I'll talk to the principal." So during the day through official channels, and at night through Rose's special touches, the library was constantly improving. A month later, the change in school was very obvious. The library was now the most popular place in school. During recess, children were running to the library. Even children who didn't read books had started reading. For example, Jake Peterson was one of the naughtiest children in school. He never read books. But one morning he found the book, Adventures of Naughty Children, on his table. The book was just like his story. From that day on, Jake became a regular at the library. Emma asked Jake, "Jake, how did you start reading so many books?" "I don't know, Emma. It's like someone knows me very well and finds exactly the books I want." Emma smiled to herself. Her grandmother was really like a magician. One day, Principal Mr. Wilson made an announcement to the whole school. "Dear students, our reading rates in the library have increased incredibly this semester. I congratulate all of you for this. Also," said Mr. Wilson, "you must have noticed the special arrangements and book recommendations in our library. This is happening with the help of someone very special. I can't tell you who it is, but we thank them very much." Emma was smiling proudly in class. Her grandmother was being appreciated. During recess, Mr. Wilson called Emma. "Emma, can I ask you something about your grandmother, Rose?" Emma got a little worried. "Yes, Mr. Wilson. She's a wonderful woman. Her contributions to the school are priceless. You can be proud of her." Thank you, Mr. Wilson. I'm very proud too. And I know you're helping too. Thank you, Emma. Emma was surprised. Mr. Wilson knew everything. Rose's work hadn't only caught Mr. Wilson's attention. Other teachers had also noticed the change. Miss Garcia, my students are reading more books than ever this semester. Mr. Johnson, my third-grade students' vocabulary has improved so much. Mrs. Davis, children are now eager for the library. Teachers discussed this situation in their meeting. Who is making these book recommendations? Asked Miss Garcia. Mr. Wilson smiled. Someone very special who wants to stay secret. But I can say that this person loves children very much and does everything they can for them. Then we should thank them, said Mrs. Davis. We will. We already are, said Mr. Wilson. One evening Emma asked Rose what she was curious about. Grandma, why do you love books and children so much? Rose smiled and had Emma sit next to her. I was a teacher for many years, Emma. I taught children for 40 years. When I retired, I missed children very much. Then what happened? Then I noticed this school. It had a library, but children weren't using it much. The books were old. There was no order. And you decided to change it? Yes. At first I just started organizing books. Then I started watching children. I realized everyone had different tastes. And you started choosing special books for everyone. Exactly. Because I believe there's a right book for every child. And when they find that book, love of reading begins. Emma listened to her grandmother's story mesmerized. Grandma, you're a real superhero. Rose laughed. No, sweetheart. I'm just an old woman who loves books and children. As months passed, Rose's impact wasn't limited to just the school. Children started taking books home. Their families also adopted reading habits. Emma's friend Sarah's mother. Sarah is constantly reading books. This is wonderful. Tommy's father. Tommy now reads us stories before sleeping. Katie's mother. My daughter loves the library so much. Where did this change come from? Emma felt very happy hearing these comments. Her grandmother was affecting not just the school, but all families. Rose's success also caught the attention of other retired teachers. Emma's teacher, Miss Garcia, told her something. Emma, there are other retired teachers who want to meet your grandmother, Rose. They want to help too. Emma got excited. Really? Yes. Mrs. Thompson and Mr. Clark also want to join. Emma told Rose about the situation. Grandma, other teachers want to help you too. Rose thought, this could be wonderful. We can reach more children. So the team expanded. Mrs. Thompson started recommending math books to increase love of mathematics. Mr. Clark chose science books. Now we have recommendations not just for storybooks, but in every field, said Emma. The change at Roosevelt Elementary was so obvious that local newspaper reporter Linda Park noticed the situation. Something very special is happening at this school. Children's reading rates have increased a lot. How did they achieve this? Linda interviewed Mr. Wilson. We have very special volunteers, said Mr. Wilson. They make great sacrifices for children. Who are they? They want to stay secret. But I can say these are people with passion for education who love children. The newspaper article read, Reading Revolution at Roosevelt Elementary. Success with Secret Heroes. Emma smiled proudly reading the newspaper. After the newspaper article came out, calls started coming from other schools too. Mr. Wilson, can these volunteers come to our school too? How can we establish this system? Can we meet these teachers? Mr. Wilson told Rose about the situation. Rose, your success has affected other schools too. What do you think? Rose thought, maybe we can teach the system. Each school can find their own volunteers. Great idea. So Rose started consulting other schools. She taught her system, observation techniques, book selection methods. A year later, Roosevelt Elementary won the Most Successful Reading Program award. At the award ceremony, Mr. Wilson gave a speech. This success is thanks to special people who instill love of reading. They prefer to stay secret, but I want to thank them. Emma was sitting in the audience. She couldn't see Rose, but she knew she was there too, secretly watching with pride. After the ceremony, Emma found Rose. Grandma, we won the award. No, Emma, the children won. They won the love of reading. But this is thanks to you. Thanks to us, said Rose, hugging Emma. You made a great contribution too. Today Emma is 15 years old. Rose is 84 and still active. But now she's not alone. 12 schools in the city are applying the Rose system. Hundreds of volunteer teachers are working for children. Emma now goes to high school, but still helps her grandmother. Grandma, this has become a very big movement. Yes, Emma. But what's really important is children gaining love of reading. While Emma prepares for university, she's choosing education faculty. I want to be a teacher too. I want to instill love of books in children like you. Rose smiles proudly. You are my greatest achievement, Emma. Today, the Rose system is being applied not only in the city, but in various parts of the country. Retired teachers, volunteer parents, university students are participating. Emma is now studying education at university. Her thesis topic, the effect of personalized book recommendations on child development. This isn't just a hobby, says Emma. This is investment in future generations. Rose's book recommendations reached millions of children. But her most important legacy is the love and care she taught Emma. Today, Rose still goes to the library at midnight. But now she's not alone. Emma is with her too. Grandma, will you ever stop this work? No, Emma, because every child is special, and there's a perfect book for every child. This story teaches us this. Sometimes the biggest revolutions are started by the quietest heroes. Rose's midnight work didn't just create individual readers. It changed an entire community's reading culture. And Emma's discovery shows that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hidden in the darkness of night. Because in the end, the right book at the right time can change a child's life forever.